Hi, it's Don Sanders. I want to thank everybody for turning out today for our webinar about how selling promo products in a supply chain disrupted economy, exactly how you do that. And what I'm going to try and do is help everybody understand that there's real opportunity in situations like this. And instead of running off and hiding and thinking that it's the end of the world, I think if you do the right thing, I think you can get a lot of business from your competitors. And the first thing I would like to do is thank all of the suppliers that make these webinars possible: Distributor Central, Southern Plus, Edwards, which is a fabulous company, David Blaze, my friend, who can help you learn how to sell. He's a great trainer, and all these people are suppliers that I talk about are people that I personally know, and I would not recommend anyone to you if I would think that they would ever not treat you correctly. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Don Sanders. I've been in this business for a very long time. Over 35 years, I've sold a good amount of promotional products at a really high profit margin, around 43%. There I am at a show last year, the second to the last show that I went to at the ASI show in Fort Worth. And there's my sellpromoproducts.com business card. I own a sales training website, but still a distributor. And there's my Don Sanders marketing card as well. So that's enough about me. I just wanted you to know a little bit about what I do. But first off, supply chain problems, they're not recent. These have been going on for 2 years. And you should have been able to adjust pretty well on how to do business. A lot of people have, and a lot of people have not. And this started when the U.S. raised tariffs on the Chinese imports back in 2019. So things have not been the same since then. And what we've got going on now is suppliers are shorthanded because workers are not returning to work. It's like Gympire, I'm showing you on the screen, Trainer, Southern Plus, Burlingame. These are all great suppliers that I would recommend wholeheartedly, but they are having labor shortages. People don't want to come to work, so they're having a hard time producing their orders. And so a lot of distributors don't understand that, but if you do understand that and deal with it, I think that you can come out of this with some really good business from people who are not doing, or distributors are not doing the right thing. Now, I just want Tiffany Tarr from Distributor Central is here. She's going to talk to you just for a minute here and then tell you about Distributor Central. And then at the end, she's going to do like a 10-minute presentation on how you can make more money with Distributor Central. And of all the search engines or the companies that provide these services, I think Distributor Central is the best. So are you there, Tiffany?
I'm here. So thanks, Don, for having me again on your webinar. So my name's Tiffany Tarr. I am with Distributor Central. And if you're not familiar with what we do, this is a really great time to get more familiar with what we do. There's some really great opportunities out there in the industry. As I've been talking with suppliers over the last few weeks, I'm hearing from suppliers that have really deep inventory and they've got a good amount of selection and things that you can still be presenting. And there's tons of USA made companies too that won't have the supply chain issues that maybe other companies are having, that you can still position to your customers. And I think that what I'll show you is a way that you can to find some of those products and build a collection of products that you can feature on your website. So there's just some really great opportunity out there to continue to sell through any issue, really. And if you're not familiar with Distributor Central, what we do is 100% free for every distributor in the industry. And all you would need to do is either send me an email or go to distributorcentral.com and sign up as a distributor for a free account, or email us at info@distributorcentral.com.
Okay, well, whatever Tiffany says is true, and I have known her for a very long time. And one thing I want to point out on the screen is there's a $5 off coupon, and you can use that on orders that you place through Distributor Central's order service, and select suppliers are offering that. But that's a great little way to place your order through Distributor Central and also get a little spiff while doing so. Now, I'm going to tell you right up front, the best way to handle supply chain problems is to not deal with people that are going to be real affected by them. So what I would do is get rid of my bad customers up front and start fresh here. Bad customers are first to complain, and they never understand problems that cannot be controlled. Just like that guy screaming at that distributor on the screen. He's saying, you should have predicted supply chain problems. Well, he couldn't do that. He's blaming it all on somebody else besides himself. probably that customer waited around to place his order late or whatever the problem was. So what I would recommend you do is get rid of people that are hard to deal with, those ones that shop you around, slow pay, ignore your calls, they're low, slow to respond, try and beat you down on the price, and they're never honest. They don't send on artwork on time, they don't do what they say. Stop fooling with them. And there's my $5 off a coupon for Distributor Central. David Blaze, my friend, there's in the center. I'm going to talk about him in just a minute. And Edwards on the left, Brett Guerin, is going to be with us today and talk to you about selling uniforms. But before that, only sell awesome clients. I'm telling you, if you have awesome clients, you won't have these issues with people that give you grief all of the time. So you need to learn how to find awesome customers after you get rid of the ones that give you too much distraction. And you find awesome clients by doing one thing. You ask them a key question. I deal with distributors all day long. They never ask enough questions of buyers or potential prospects. I ask everybody, are you looking for lower prices or quality products and superb service? Anybody says, I demand cheap prices, I never talk to them again. That guy with that piggy bank, can you imagine dealing with him? I will not do it. I want the man on the right who says, I want quality products, because prospects wanting cheaper prices are first to complain. But if you ever get into a jam and you need those products fast, Innovation Line, who I recommend wholly, completely, has 97 products that will ship in one day. So that is an easy way to deal with people that are always so demanding. Now, I use suppliers who answer phones during supply problems. They're ID Line, their customer service reps that are in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, not Manila. These big hedge fund suppliers all outsource their customer service to the Philippines and other places. They are not easy to respond. I cannot understand them. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but when the phone reception is bad, these big mega supplier customer service people are hard to deal with. So I would recommend a supplier like ID Line in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. They're the finest name badge company in the industry, but besides that, their customer service people are reliable and have been there for years and will shoot you straight answers, not avoid your calls like large, big suppliers. Now, Brett Edwards is on here with me. He is a fine person, and he's going to talk to you about selling uniform programs from Edwards and the reason you should be doing that and how that protects you during these trying economic times. Are you there, Brett?
I am here, Don. Thank you. Well, my name is Brett Guerin, and first off, I want to thank Don for having me and Tiffany as well. For those of you who do not know about Edwards Garment, we have been in business since 1867. We are family owned. We are amongst the fifth generation of the family who has owned this company. We are not one of those large hedge fund type suppliers. We believe we are the last of the true proprietary, where we carry no one else's brand other than our own apparel companies within this industry. We are the largest of that sort, and there are not many of us left. So when you look at this list, I hope that you recognize some of these names up here. We have been around forever. In the industry, to my knowledge, there's only one company who has been around longer than us. And there are many esteemed supplier organizations, uniform companies on this list. We've outfitted men and women in the with uniform apparel for 154 years, and we are going strong. Do you think that we have been through crises like this before? In 154 years, the answer is yes. So when you're thinking about a company to use, and a company that's as Americana as we are, with a long history as we are, I hope that that means something to you. I hope that our long-standing history means something to you. We have a lot more to offer. We are a great company. Soak in this list here, folks, this timeline, just for a second before Don moves on. It may not mean something to you now, but it means everything to us over at Edwards Garment. Next slide, please. So we are a program-driven company. And what that means is 90% of what we do at Edwards are for programs. Repeat, reorder business. 90% of that business is blank. 10% of what we do is decorated. I hope that that means something. So for those of you who are out there saying, well, how does this company sell 90% programs, 90% of which is blank, only 10% is event-driven, decorated? Well, that's because we have great customers who have developed great long-standing relationships with their end users. I am not going to sit here and tell you that every customer we have has a mega size end user. That is just not true. We have a lot of small programs that have been with us for 30, 40 years. We have a lot of medium-sized programs that have been with us for that long. And we have a good handful of very large global and nationally recognized programs that we have been servicing for 40 some odd years. And that is the benefit of a program opportunity. You're not scrambling for event-driven business. You are literally selling products that people have to wear in order to show up to work. And in many cases, these are products that are oftentimes blank. So in the uniform market, it's often perceived image over brand. Chefs have to wear white chef coats or black chef coats, and housekeepers have to wear uniforms. The focus isn't so much on the branding, the focus is more on the image. When you see that employee, you recognize instantly who they are, what they do, and where they belong. These are some questions that we've put together at Edwards. They are popular questions when one is out vetting for uniform opportunities. I can tell you that these are the most successful uniform apparel vetting questions out there. Why? Because your biggest competitors are using them every day. Land's End and all of the large uniform companies, like the recognizable ones that I cannot mention on this, but you know exactly who they are. They are using these questions. They are looking for long-term program opportunities that are not event-driven, they're need-driven. When an organization hires 10 or 20 or 2 more people, they are relying on the suppliers to be able to supply it as quickly as possible. There's no such thing as e-proof by Wednesday, must ship by Friday, in hands by Monday in the uniform world. When someone calls and asks, do you have khaki pants or do you have gray suits? The answer is yes. How many do you need? We'll put them in a box and ship them out for you as soon as possible. That is the benefit of a uniform program. When you use these questions in the midst of your next uniform or apparel solicitation, I promise you your success will increase tremendously. As I said, your biggest competitors who focus on apparel, who focus on uniforms, are using them every single day. So, as I said, blank business. Some of you may be rolling your eyes. Well, what's the whole purpose of this industry? We're all about branding. Well, I guess so in some cases, but in the uniform world that I live in, as I said to you, a lot of it is driven on blanks and it's need-based. So, next slide, please. If you want to sell items in the uniform world, look for the niche items, the items that end users could not go to a retail store to buy and look uniform. So with this, washable suiting, or suiting in general, it doesn't have to be washable, but we happen to make suits that a person could take home and wash in their home laundry. They wouldn't have to bring it to the dry cleaner. They wouldn't have to pay for it. They wouldn't have to wait for it. Now, do you think casinos and airlines and banks and auto dealers are wearing suits? Absolutely, folks. And those are great areas to go after. But think of the usual suspects. Do you think security companies are wearing suits as well? Absolutely. Sell to the markets that are looking to buy these niche items. Sell to the markets that require their employees to have a certain image over brand. It will help you throughout the next 6 to 9 months, as we anticipate that is how long the inventory crisis will continue. Next slide, please. What about pants? What about shorts? Rarely do you find an organization that is decorating pants and shorts. In most cases, they are asking you to provide them with khaki, navy, black, gray, you name it, some type of pant or short. I could rattle off industries that their employees are required to wear blank pants or blank shorts. And let me tell you, folks, not one employee is ever given one pair. Tiffany said it before, when you can build these types of opportunities using groupings and collections, no matter how you're displaying them, whether it's Distributor Central or on your own web, that is the way to sell these types of opportunities: groupings, collections, and blanks. We are simply taking orders, putting them into a box, and shipping them out. I am not touching it, you are not touching it, and the end user puts it on, wears it, and when they need more, they order more. Some of you probably have never sold pants, and there's some trepidation behind it. Don't worry. At Edwards, we make selling any of our products easy. We send out fit lines. A fit line is a grouping of sizes that an end user organization can keep and have their employees try on at leisure or at will or by schedule. And they keep it from whenever there are new hires, so that when they're ordering new product from us, it is seamless. And do we have stock? Of course we have stock. Everything that I'm talking about, we have tons of stock in, but it's that niche item. Please keep that in mind. Next slide, please. What about this grouping, EDS and housekeeping? How many of you on this call have ever sold a hotel or a big high-rise building that has private cleaning services or any type of private cleaning service? Go Google private cleaning or house cleaning or company cleaning. You will find hundreds, if not thousands, of those organizations all over all 50 states. This is a niche item. Nobody has as much EBS and housekeeping uniforms as we do. We have tons of stock in this, and this is a niche item. God bless you if you can get these types of organizations. Everything I have mentioned would be considered these great programs that offer repeat business, not event driven, no in-hand state. They just need it. That's why we have it. Next slide, please. So custom, I want to talk about the custom division of our company. I just chose aprons. It could be any type of custom product. We have two divisions at Edwards. Edwards uniform side, which is everything off the shelf, all the stock items. And by the way, we do have black polos on our shelf. I was told to mention that. But when you're dealing with custom, and here's my biggest tip. You can move to the next slide, Don, if you'd like. When you're dealing with custom, these are pre-orders. Now, I'm not going to say that every organization that you work with or that you are going to solicit will be able to do a custom project. Why? Because it takes time. Custom is not something that you pull off the shelf and make moderate decoration modifications to it. No, these are projects that are taking 90 to 120 days. You have developed a great relationship with your end users. But the key, next slide, the key would be getting on the calendar. This is the biggest tip, and if there's anyone here who wants to try to outsell what we're going to go through probably for the next 6 to 9 months, start asking your end users if they will give you access to their calendar of events. My best customers at Edwards are getting on the calendars of their end users. My biggest program at Edwards is 100% custom. They buy nothing off the shelf, and the only reason we can do that is our sales rep has developed a great relationship with the distributor. The distributor has a stud relationship with the end user, and we are on their calendar. We know all of their marketing events. We know all of their hiring. We know all of their job fairs. We know how many retail outlets they have, what the transition of attrition would be, how many employees they're keeping and losing. We can forecast everything, which allows us to be able to place these types of custom orders all year round. We are always staying ahead of the 90 to 120 days. So go ahead to the next slide, please. When we're looking at it in a big picture, let's look at this hotel. When we first started working with this hotel group, everything was off the shelf, but rarely do you ever encounter a uniform program where something special is not needed. In this case, it was a particular color. So you could tell the items by looking at the uniform pieces here, what items we carry every single day off the shelf. We had to supplement it with custom product made overseas. It was all pre-ordered. And the factories that we're dealing with are not those mega giant, huge production factories that most suppliers use. These are smaller, more boutique factories. They're not suffering the slings and arrows of COVID shutdowns like the big mega. You take a big mega factory that makes 10,000 white dress shirts in a day, and all of a sudden they have 50, 60, 75 people sick. Their production goes from 10,000 a day to maybe 2,000 a day. The factories we're using for these custom projects don't employ that many people. They're more professional, they're more high fashion, they're dealing with different customer base, they're dealing with just special orders, they're used to it. Sell custom apparel, sell custom uniforms. You won't have to deal with the off-the-shelf stock nightmare that a lot of these organizations are going through. Next slide. So I've retrofitted some of these slides, and they'll look somewhat familiar, but look at this hospital network. Again, rarely do you find a uniform program that they're not looking for something. In this case, it was a particular colorway. Again, everything else we were able to supply off the shelf from Edwards, but they had to have this particular color because that's what their hospital network was demanding. We get on the calendar, we're dealing with the buyers, they're letting us know their calendar, they're letting us know their forecast of employees, their attrition rate, how many men, how many women, and we can stay ahead of the inventory nightmare by placing these custom orders. Next slide, please. So look at this hotel. Rarely, I'm sure many of you have walked into a Hilton or a Marriott and you've seen something, you're like, oh, well, that's easy. That must be something off the shelf. And then you'll see something very dynamic that one of the employees is wearing. Well, trust me, that was custom. And those big, large properties are ordering ahead. They are working with distributors like you, showing them the calendar. I cannot stress enough how important the calendar, access to the calendar is. That is your gateway to not having to deal with off the shelf. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, what are the minimums and how do I do? It's not for everyone. I agree. It's for a special grouping of end users that have decent sized employee bases, multiple location, whatever it is. It's not for everyone, but when you do land those opportunities, selling custom, working off your calendar should be two big buzz things that you are talking about. Everyone out there is aware of what we're going through right now. Trust me, every end user knows. Some of them may not be as forgiving. Like Don said, you don't want to work with those people. And at Edwards, we're not working with those people. We're encouraging you as distributors to not work with those people, and we'll be very honest. But when you are selling custom and bringing it up and telling these organizations, look, there is a way to do it. We do have to wait. In the meantime, we can service you with whatever is stock off the shelf. But if you don't want to deal with the shortages, the inventory nightmares, in 90 to 120 days, we can have you beautiful product. And if we know your forecast and we know your calendar, we can continue to have this product coming in monthly or every other month or 3 times, whatever it is. Edwards will work with you to help you forecast, to help you plan, and to help you create these beautiful, beautiful custom and stock collections. Next slide. I don't know if there is a next slide.
I think
This is the last one. Folks, this just gives you a rough idea of what custom in stock looks like. And if you're looking for ways to sell against the inventory nightmare, mention custom, request the calendar, look to companies like Edwards that sell niche product and you will be well positioned up against every other distributor that is trying to sell out of the same 3 apparel books. Don, I appreciate the time. If there's any questions, feel free to relay them to me. I had a great time today, folks. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. I've been doing this a long time, but Brett just told me a bunch of stuff that I never even knew. And if there was one thing that I made an error in doing this, is I never sold enough uniform programs either. And every time I listen to what Brett has to say, I learned something. And I just want to thank him for being part of our webinar. And he just did a more than great job. And a point that I want to make is, I mentioned previously, there's opportunity during chaos, and people go into a crisis mode where they should go into an opportunity mode. And one of the things that makes me sicker than anything are these industry chat sites where these distributors get on there and they go over and over again about they can't get products, they waited on the phone for 80 minutes for a supplier, and yak, yak, yak. And instead of doing that, stay off of those sites and learn some stuff that you need to do about getting customers, because it's always the end of the world on chat sites. I take the times like now, and I'm going to show you some things on how to handle that. And I look for opportunity, just like Snug Z USA has last minute pink product sales. Instead of being on a chat site, why aren't you calling up or emailing, texting all your customers and saying, hey, do you need to buy some pink products? I can still get them here before the end of the month. That's what you need to do, instead of just complaining about things. But for those of you that need really good training that's beyond what I can provide, I can train somebody, but I do not have the set programs. David Blaze is my friend that I mentioned to you before. He has a program called Smart EQP where he helps distributors get better pricing on their orders. And you can also become part of a community. But beyond that, he also has some set programs, like he has one called Getting Started. And it is a whole program to lay down exactly what you need to do to get started in this industry. And I would recommend that you purchase a product like that if you want to jumpstart your sales and get going, because a lot of people in this industry have no training and they just fly by the seat of their pants. Now, I have found more quality clients volunteering than any other form of networking. I have tried every kind of networking there is. Some is better than other, but doing volunteer work, I meet more like-minded people than anything I've ever done. Like-minded people are ones that think like I do politically, ones that think like I do on the environment or animals, whatever it is. I love dogs, so I do a lot of volunteer work with the SPCA. I've met a lot of really good customers doing volunteer work. I volunteer for the Frog Club. I went to TCU. I've sold several orders to other Frog Club members. I've worked out at the State Fair of Texas, which is going on now. I meet all kinds of people up there because I chat them up when I'm doing my volunteer work. And I used to do the volunteer program for the Dallas Zoo. And talk about selling uniforms. I called on the zoo doing their volunteer program for 11 years, and not once did I ever go over there to administration and talk to them about their uniforms. If I had known Brett Guerin back then, I would have done it, but I did not know. That was my era. But a thing that you can sell, but one of the greatest networking opportunities is working elections. These things go on and on and on, but I sell a lot of mats to political candidates. Logo Mats has political mats, and a great thing you can do is you can personalize those mats for your campaign workers, your friends, and for the political candidates. And you can sell these as a fundraising item. Logo Mats has mats that you can sell political candidates. It's a great way to increase your market. Now, a lot of distributors use sorry self promos. They have little cheap paper business cards. They have a little dinky pen with their name on it. Use self promos that are effective. Two that I've got, I use from AdMatch. I have bacteria fighting wet wipes with my logo on it, and I also have Kleenex tissues, not Kleenex, but I have tissues from AdMatch with my logo on it. These are germane self promos right now because the flu season is coming up. Beyond the COVID or the Delta variant, flu is spread by touching things and you're putting your hands in your mouth and near your eyes. These products help that. So use self promos that actually customers want. Both of these you can get from Ad Match. You can enter, excuse me, I'm tongue-tied. Email phil@admatch.com. I've known Phil Sharkey forever. This is the way to expand your base by using self promos that are effective. You also need to make as many touches as you can. Stay in contact with your customers. Don't run off here and hide during this time and say, oh, I can't get stuff. I don't know what to do. Start contacting people and staying in touch with them. I send holiday gifts. I send holiday cards to my customers every year. People don't do this anymore. If you do this, you'll be setting yourself apart from those that don't, and these constant touches lessen the impact of delivery issues. And one thing I do is I take cards I get from Empire and I buy lens cleaning cloths from Cloth Promotions. I've dealt with them since they started. I have holiday cloths. You're seeing them there on the right of the screen. I fold those up, put those inside my holiday cards from Empire. The person opens it up, the cloth falls in their lap. So not only do they have a card with my logo on it or my name on it, they also have a lens cleaning cloth. It is a dramatic way to increase touches and to wish your customers happy holidays. Harvey@Empire.com for holiday card samples, Tyler.R@clothpromotions.com for those lens cleaning cloths. And in fact, right here, my regular business card is also a lens cleaning cloth, which you're seeing on the right part of the screen. And there's the self promo offer sheet for Cloth Promotions. I cannot tell you how important it is to use business cards, business contact products like lens cleaning cloths and the wet wipes and the tissues I talked to you from Ad Match. Now, I want to talk to you about Empire's holiday cards a minute. They have a great selection of Hanukkah cards, Merry Christmas, Peace on Earth, any way you want to express your happiness during the season. Empire also has floral seed holiday cards. Those are ones that you can plant after you get through using them, soak them in water and plant them, and they will grow a plant. Harvey@Empire.com for holiday card sample kits. And another thing that is so important, I talked to this before about making frequent updates, and be honest. Don't hide from your clients. It never gets better. You have a problem with an order, go right at it up front, tell them the truth and say, I'm working on fixing it. Don't make an excuse, blame it on somebody else. Take the responsibility for what's happened or let people know what's going on. Constant order dates lessens the impact of problematic deliveries. Never hide for clients. And there's my David Blaze pitch for David again on Smart EQP. On the left and on the right are masks from Empire. Empire has a great selection of masks. One thing about if you sell people masks now, restaurants would be a great place to go for masks. All the servers and the bartenders have to wear them. Why not put the logo of the bar or the restaurant on the front on the mask? How about a way? You got to look at the server, you look at the logo on the mask. And the Empire, the reason I like Empire masks is they're good for 20 washings. I bet the masks you've been selling, you don't even know how many times you can wash them. So ask people, how many times can you wash that mask you've got? They're going to say, I don't know. Then there's your chance to pitch them one that can be washed several times. And I am showing products right now that I know are available to customers. A lot of distributors let their customers go on random websites. They don't keep them on one like Distributor Central. If you will keep them on websites that have products available, if they're marked as being available, then you are not taking the chance of tell your customer that you can't get the product. One that I know is available is Ad Match has about 3 million of these wet wipes in stock right now. So start showing your customers wet wipes. They're going to need them for the flu season. I saw today that there's a whole article about the flu is going to be as bad this year as it's ever been. Sell wet wipes to your customers. Email phil@admatch.com. Tell him that I told you to email him and you want some samples of this product, or take advantage of that self promo. The way to beat this in this economy is to sell products that you can get. not get people off on products that are unobtainable. Another way to do that is to sell for Sticker U. Their products are made in Canada. Canadian products ship fast and on time. Sticker U has never had a delivery problem because their products are coming out of Canada. I've been recommending Sticker U for a long time. All you have to do is buy one item from them. That could be a street sticker, a temporary tattoo, a holiday sticker, iron-on transfers. They've got everything you need from a sticker-related situation. And they can deliver on time because they are Canadian-based. They're not in China. And Tiffany had talked about guaranteed shipment sites. Well, here we are. Why not create a site through Distributor Central, and everything on that site is a product that can be delivered? Your customer wants some ideas. You're not doing that. You want them to pick out something. Create a site like this, and every product on that site can be delivered. That way you don't have to worry about coming up with an excuse. Guaranteed ship product websites. And like Innovation Line would be a great supplier to propagate that site with. They have got 100+ products available for 24-hour rush service. I think I told you earlier they had 97, so they must have added a few more products here. But Innovation Line products, that could be on that site. You send it to your customer. You don't have to worry about them picking out something unattainable. Innovation Line can help you with that. Another thing you need to do is include delivery disclaimers on all correspondence. Anytime you email somebody, have a message like this showing on the screen saying what's going on. People understand there's employee shortages. They have to wait in restaurants because there's a shortage of waiters or servers. Everybody should understand what is going on here, but protect yourself by having a disclaimer on all your emails or any kind of correspondence you have with your customers. And a great thing to start showing right now are holiday ornaments from Burlap-Camp. Burlap-Camp makes custom-made ornaments that are so, so cool. Send that to your customers or start showing those to your customers. Thinking out of the box and selling products like that will set you apart for distributors who do not do that. Another supplier that can deliver is Snugz USA. Snugz is a very well-known supplier. I do marketing with them. Brandon Brown, you're seeing right there. He's Vice President of Marketing. He will deliver for you. I talked to him the other day. They have their Zip It service, and they have hundreds of products that can be delivered fast. You can find those at snugzusa.com. So don't worry about selling right now and getting product delivery as long as you're offering products from like Innovation Line, Snugz USA. They can deliver. And this is not the time to be beating up suppliers regarding price. Look at this guy here. I need it cheaper. What do you want to do? Try and sell him on a cheap price and have him beat you to death because you can't get it delivered? Don't fool with people like that, but don't beat suppliers up on price. And what I mean is there are distributors that are just, all they worry about is getting EQP pricing. I could really care less about that. I want suppliers that will deliver on time and be there for me. But I do like preferential treatment with pricing. So instead of worrying about contacting every supplier and saying, hey, what kind of pricing can you give me? David Blaze has got his Smart EQP program. I think it's $75 a month. That's not anything if you're serious about doing this business. That gets you EQP from 100 different suppliers. So instead of beating up suppliers on price, email David or visit smarteqp.com/Don, whatever that email is, or david@smarteqp.com. If you're insistent about getting cheaper prices, use his program and let him worry about getting you that pricing, and you don't worry about it yourself. Now, post supply chain issues on Facebook and LinkedIn. That's what I do. You go in there, send friend requests to potential customers. I send requests to people all the time. Never know who I'm going to meet. If they accept the friendship thing, a request, I've got them in my contact list. Send in LinkedIn invites daily. Same kind of thing. You pick up some customers and post on your Facebook or LinkedIn. This message like I've got right there. If you need products shipped on certain dates, post that a message like that and include the promo antibacterial wet wipes we talked about that Ad Matches got in stock. That way you're telling people up front that you can help them with their order deliveries. I also post Southern Plus product videos on my site of the products they have that can ship immediately. Some of Southern Plus's stuff can go out really fast, some is a little bit longer, but Southern Plus is a great supplier. The products that they can deliver immediately, post their brief 1-minute product videos on Facebook and LinkedIn. There are 87 of these you can choose from, and they're at southernplus.com. Now, specifically, here's an order I created for mats from Logo Mats by posting on Facebook about dirty mats. Mats are filthy. If you go look at any mat you run into in a bar and restaurant, they are dirty. And the reason being is most customers use mat rental programs. They rent mats, and the mat rental company is supposed to clean them. They do not buy mats from Logo Mats. Sell your customers these super scraper mats like is on the screen right now. That mat's about $220. Well, yeah, that thing will last 2 years. If you're renting a mat from a mat rental company, they're charging $35 and $40 a month. It is far cheaper and cleaner to sell mats to people. And this is one right here. I posted this dirty facts on my Facebook, and Grand Bank, one of my followers, says, Don, we've been thinking about buying some new mats. M. Wadsworth at logomatsllc.com to learn about getting those mat orders. And you can text and email inventory available product flyers to prospects. I know that Southern Plus right now has got umbrellas in stock. I know they've got chairs. They've got back to school products. They have 55 customizable flyer choices at southernplus.com where you can put your logo, like mine is shown at the bottom of the backyard camping, or you can put straight line type on there. If you don't have a logo, go to southernplus.com and check those out. Now, a good way to keep from getting in trouble with customers over supply issues is to sell places where you do business. You have a bakery you go to, well, call on that bakery. When you go in there and buy some muffins, say, hey, can I sell you a mat? You got a loved one in the hospital. When you go to the hospital, go to marketing or materials management and say, one of my brothers in the hospital, you know what? Can I talk to you about some mats? You go to JJ used to eat, talk to them about their mats. You have grandparents in a retirement community, talk to them about mats. You sell your vet, talk to your vet about mats. And in a lot of these situations, do a trade out with entities that you spend money with. You give them money, get some money back. Great way to do that is selling mats. Another thing to do is to offer alternate product choices. People are just obsessed with Yeti. Yeti's all right, but heck, I think Thermos is a great brand. Snug Z USA has most of the Thermos products available. Somebody goes on about wanting Yeti, say, hey, we got a problem getting Yeti, but I can get you Thermos. I can get it delivered quick. Offer alternative product choices. Don't let people tie you down to one product because they'll have to wait forever for products. I don't know what the delivery date is on Yeti. I'm not rubbing on Yeti, but I am just telling you, Thermos is available now to ship. And people ask me, Don, who are buying right now? Who's buying? Well, realtors are easy to find buyers right now because the real estate market is booming. Houses in my neighborhood, they sell before they ever even go on the market. Now, realtors need open house signs. Sticker U, who I talked to you before, has die-cut signs. All you have to do is buy one. They will die-cut that sign. You can sell them to realtors about where their open houses are located. A lot of these open house signs for realtors are pretty mundane. Show realtors die-cut signs with their pictures on them. You can get samples from promo at stickeru.com. Another thing realtors need are mats. We talked about mats before for the bank. Well, realtors need mats for open houses and to identify themselves while there. Logo Mats LLC has the mats for realtors. Sticker U has the signs for realtors. Now let's talk about establishing accounts with suppliers. You need to have at least 20 top suppliers that you have an account set up with. It is far easier to get a rush order done or get something from a supplier if they look you up and you have an account with them. You can't call up a supplier and be demanding and say, I want this done, I want this right now, yak, 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 give me better pricing. Well, do you have an account with us? No. Already established credit with 20 minimum suppliers like Logo Mats. There's their credit app right there. Call Logo Mats up, email them. Say, send me a sample kit. If you fill out an account with Logo Mats, they'll send you that cool sample kit. Right there on the right, that is a selling kit that you will have that the person who doesn't have an account with them will not have. M. Wadsworth at logomatsllc.com for a sample kit and a credit application. Do the same thing with Edwards. Do it with Snugs. Do it with Burlacamp, Trainer. These are great suppliers, and I guarantee you when you need those orders fast or you got a problem, people with accounts are going to get service first. Just like Snugs, here are their rep lists for the country. If you've got an account with Snugs, they are calling on you all the time by email, calling you. Reps are visiting you. Reps can help you handle orders faster than you doing it by yourself. You can call up Haley Day, who handles Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, that area. Ask for their help on orders. If you're beating up suppliers on price and not having reps call on you and you don't have accounts set up, how in the heck do you think you're going to get better service than someone who has established accounts with those suppliers? Now, Tiffany had talked to you about Distributor Central sites. Here are 4 that we were pitching back during the pandemic. I would now pitch these for the flu season and the Delta variant. They have several different templates that you can have to create your own sites and put on those sites germ protection products. AdMatch has got airplane cleaning towels. Airplanes are pretty nasty before, and they've got to be even nastier now. I'm not saying it's nasty enough you don't need to fly, but these towels will clean the front of the seat in front of you, or that plastic tray that comes back. It can clean the where you put your elbows on the side. Products like this are what customers need now, and this is something that AdMatch has got in stock. Flying soon, start selling towels, airplane cleaning towels, to your customers. They can also clean in buses, they clean computers, etc. Here's a product that's available. Here's a product that's germane. Phil at admatch.com. Grabbers will be back. Burlacamp has these little grabbers. The Viro Grip samples, these were out a year and a half ago. I worked with Ken Burlacamp on this when people were afraid to touch things. Well, I don't think the touch is so much now on the Delta and on the COVID, but the flu season is affected by touching things. So instead of selling these little grabbers like on the left, I've seen those before, they have no imprint on them. Look at the Viro Grip samples from Burlacamp. Sales at burlacamp.com to get one. These touch products will be coming back in the winter. And another thing you can put on your health and safety websites. Another great idea is to sell for suppliers who are American made. Tiffany talked about that initially. They're not having materials issues. I work with Apogee. They are the best award company in this industry, in my opinion. They have a Swag It Forward program. You send John Gotchi a logo from one of your customers, he will create a custom award for free and send that to your customer for you. All you have to do is call them up on the phone and say, did you get that award? What did you think about that? The response rate on this, when you do it for current clients, is 80%. If you have clients you want to try and call on, 30 to 35% of people will respond to thank you. That is phenomenal. You can send those logos to john.g@creativeawards.net. American made and delivery on time. That's how you beat the pandemics and also supply chain problems. Now, I've talked about David Blaze. I think this is the last time I'm talking about David. I'm sorry, I just admire what he does. You can remain independent and find peers to help with delivery by joining his Smart EQP program. When you join this, you're a member of a group. I belong to the thing, and every day somebody posts needing help. Where can I find a product? I'm having problems with this customer, and people will chime in and tell you helpful things to do. So you get to confer with other distributors all the time, 24/7. Share ideas. David also has exclusive training videos. There's idea sharings. You can get quick answers, learn and discuss strategies. Don't do this alone. For 75 bucks a month, this is a must-do thing. If I had this, I'd be charging you to do it, but David's already got it. Great way for you to keep up with what's going on. Now, when meeting prospects during supply chain problems, you got to have a good follow-up plan. Don't be hiding like these competitors are. Whenever you meet somebody or you go to a networking event, volunteering, what we talked about, here are my steps of the way you would follow up. You need to follow up no later than 36 hours. Thank you, mail and text, leave effective voicemail messages. I'm not going to go through this list. You can see them right there. But once you get to the prospect, doesn't respond to you, my most important takeoff on this is don't worry about it. No response, move on to the next prospects. Do not take rejection personally. Have a follow-up plan. And here's a great new item from Snugsy is their Boxcar custom packaging. That is a way to put custom products or put Snugs products or any other products in a box that Snugs makes. This is great for mail outs or for corporate rollouts or any way you want to pitch a new product or a new business. You can look at this at snugsyusa.com. Now let's talk, I'm almost finished here. If you'll just stay with me, then Tiffany's going to enlighten you immensely. When meeting suppliers at January shows, I am going to go to the 2 shows in January, the one in February. I went to the ASI Chicago show in July, and I worked in some booths for these suppliers I helped, and 15 out of 20 distributors I visited with in those booths. First thing they did when they came in the booth was they want to know about pricing and not selling ideas. So when you go meet these suppliers at these shows in January, or there's a show in February, talk to suppliers about selling programs. Strong supplier ties helps when times are difficult. Getting a cheaper price doesn't help you when you can't get an order delivered. And a great little program that I learned from Harvey Mackler at Gympire was his lapel pin cap program. I would not have learned about this if I'd gone into Harvey's booth and said, Harvey, can you give me a cheap price on this or that? I went in and said, Harvey, tell me what you've got going that'll help me sell more. With his program, if you buy 100 caps, he gives you 100 lapel pins for free. You don't get the lapel pins for free unless you buy the caps, but it's a great cross-marketing program. The lapel pins don't even have to be with that client's logo on them. They could be one logo on the hats and another logo on the lapel pins. This is a great thing to approach your prospects and customers with. So remember, when you go to shows, ask people like Harvey Mackler about how to sell those hats and pins. If you see Edwards at the PPAI Las Vegas show, talk to Brett about how do I sell these uniforms. Don't say, Brett, can you do these things for me cheaper? That is not the way to do it. Now, holiday sales are coming up. A lot of suppliers have hard copies left. A lot of distributors ask me all the time, Don, where can I get actual catalogs? Well, I know that Trainer has them. I know that Southern Plus has them. I know that there are several suppliers, but I know that Southern Plus has them. If you'd like to have a Southern Plus end of the year catalog, it's order entry at southernplus.com. And right now I would be selling their umbrellas and I would be selling their cool blankets. These would all be great holiday gifts. And since we didn't have much of a holidays last year, I think this year holiday season will be huge. Burlingame had the ornaments that I showed you earlier. They also have snowflake ornaments. These things are so cool because they glitter. And when you have like lights on a tree, the lights on the tree pop off those the ornaments. It really makes your trees neat, and they can also be tied on gifts or packages. So holiday ornament samples, sales at burlacamp.com. Show these to your customers. They're going to love them. Cocktails to go, like right now in Texas, there are cocktails to go. I think they just passed that in New York. Show bars and restaurants color changing cups from Trainer. Wouldn't that be cool to put a cocktail in that with the lid on it? They take it out and the cup is turned orange, blue, green. I think there's 5 or 6 colors on this, but Trainer has these. They also have dishwasher safe Java Flex cups. Talk to bars and restaurants about mats, but also talk to them about uniform programs and talk to them about color changing cups as well. And let's talk about holiday mats. People want celebratory items. M. Wadsworth at Logo Mats LLC, he will send you a holiday mat sample. You can sell mats for Thanksgiving. You can sell mats for the holidays. And how about pre-selling mats for Valentine's Day? Come around about the 1st of January. Now, Tiffany's going to talk here in a minute, so stay with me. But here are all the email addresses from everything I've talked about in the presentation today. If you'd like to email me, you can get a replay of the webinar. It's don@sellpromoproducts.com. So I want to thank you for listening, and I hope that I haven't talked you to death. And now I'm going to have Tiffany talk to you. I trust Tiffany. I know she's a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and I'm not much of a Dallas Cowboy fan, but boy, they're getting good, aren't they? So there's going to be Tiffany's screen. And thank you for listening to me, and I hope you have a great day.
Oh, thanks so much, Don. That was a lot of really good information. So I hope that what I have is good information as well. So just one of the things that you can talk about, one of the things we've talked about a little bit when I've done webinars with Don, is having product collections and having a place on your website that you can showcase products that you can ship in one day, or you can showcase products that are available that for PPE types of items, and really segmenting and helping your buyer buy by breaking down product sets. And one of the things that Don and I talked about earlier this week was that idea of having deep inventory on your website. So suppliers that you know that have deep inventory because you're getting email blasts or communications from your rep on products that you can still get out and have available for holiday or first of the year. Using Distributor Central's website collections is a really simple way to be able to do that. I've got a template pulled up, and we just did a couple of just demonstrations on one of Don's websites. So you can make a product collection. So if I knew that there was a bunch of products that I had in my back pocket that were one-day ships, I could put together a really quick collection, and I'm going to show you how to do that. That features those products, and you can place that collection then on your website, and it's a really simple thing to do. Or if you were sitting in today's webinar and you wanted to take some of these product ideas from Burley Camp or Edwards or Snugs that have deep inventory, you can take those item numbers and build out a little product collection for and push it to your website in just a few clicks. So the way that you do that through product collections, and then I'm going to show you a template that we literally rolled out for holiday 5 minutes ago, so you'll be the first people that see it. To add those types of things to an existing website, the only thing that you would need to do is just choose a site you wanted to add that product collection to, and I'm just in Don's account, and I'm going to add it to that guaranteed ship site that we were taking a look at. And it really is as simple as going to your product collection feature and managing your product collection. And what I did is there's already product collections on this website for one-day ships. We had just taken a look at that. But if you wanted to add additional products to an already existing template that you've put together, you can do that as well. But I just started to put together a deep inventory collection. And as soon as you build that collection within your website manager, it'll actually push it out to your website once you publish it and add it as an additional tab or an additional block on your website. And that's really a design choice, and we can help with that as well. But to do it, all I had to do was just add a filter, and I can either just choose a supplier that I know has those features, those deep inventory, or I think that Innovation Line had like 100 items that they had available that were either deep inventory or one-day ship. I could, instead of using their company name to add it to that collection, what I could do is I could add a filter for just those item numbers and build a product list with those item numbers that are available for deep inventory. So that way when your customer goes to your website, they're not seeing a bunch of product selections that we're not 100% sure that would make it in time for their event, so that you're really focusing them on the things that you want to sell them, and you want to sell them things that are in stock and available right now. So using your product collections feature to do that will really give your customer a really specific or drilled in set of products that you know that you can deliver on, and you know that will make you look good in front of your customer. And then another template that DC just put out just this morning to help with the holiday selling is, and these are all suppliers that have got specials on products right now that they know that they're going to be able to do for the holidays, is this holiday gift product spotlight template. These are all from suppliers that have got specials on these products right now, but we took their graphics and made them end user friendly, so that you had an end user friendly template, a product idea template that you could pop over to a customer. And these are all those specials that are available right now. And then at the bottom is the actual product that your customer could use to actually purchase that from this product idea email or website that you would send over to them. So this is something else that you can use really easily to get in front of your customer now and have confidence that these products will be available and are on special with the supplier as well, that you can send over to your customers. So those are a couple of ways that you could use technology or use Distributor Central at absolutely no cost to you to be able to do those things. And if you wanted to take a look at any of those templates, once you log into your Distributor Central account, and if you don't have an account, we'll get you one set up today, you will see all of the templates that Distributor Central makes available to you. So one of the things I know is that distributors know they have these really great ideas on putting collections of products together and having great graphics and helping in building websites, but they don't always have the time or the graphics tools to be able to do that. So DC tries really hard to continue to put together these types of templates that make it really simple for you then to use our website wizard, add your logo to it, put your contact information on there, and have a website that's up, ready to go, and ready to sell in just a couple of minutes. So there's all kinds of templates in there, but that new holiday gift template that went up this morning should be the very first one that you see when you log into your account for the next time. Don, that's really all I have for today. Is there anything, if there's any questions, I always love questions. I'd always be happy to answer anything, but if anyone has anything they'd like to get more details on, you can email me at ttar@distributorcentral.com or at info@distributorcentral.com, and our team can help.
Tiffany, you did an absolutely terrific job, and I really like that holiday gift thing. That would be holiday gift site, because that was something that I would want to do immediately and then start sending that out to my clients. So we will have our webinar next month, which will be on selling holiday gifts. So you'll want to tune into that. And if you'll email me, Don at sellpromoproducts.com, I will send you the replay of this webinar. And I want to thank Tiffany for doing an absolute wonderful job, and Brett Guerin, he taught me more about uniforms than I have ever known in my life. And here's a little template of Tiffany showing you of a website that Distributor Central has done for me, and whatever you wanted to add to it could be added to it. So I want to thank everybody for listening, and email me for the replay link, and I hope everybody has a great day. Thanks.